Dan's up. He says, what has been your experience, if any, with YouTube channels that have been inactive for some time but are still in the SERPs and some on first few pages? I'm wanting to revive them if you think that is possible. Started out with 40 to 50 embeds for the specific ones I wanted to move up in ranking. Yeah, Dan, that's fine. I've got some videos, no kidding, that are still ranking that I have uploaded like on channels that have no activity whatsoever that are ranking from 2, 3, 4 years ago. I'm not kidding. I've still got some videos that are ranked for that kind of stuff that like, and so, my experience is that it doesn't really matter if you've got videos out there that even on inactive channels, you can revive them just by the best signal that you can send to them is getting traffic to them, right? Getting views, whether that's directly from YouTube or from SERPs or from an embedded properties. It really doesn't matter as long as you can get some activity. I would recommend getting some view activity to the video prior to a bunch of embeds and or backlinks, because that's an unnatural signal. Now, I don't know. I haven't tested any like because typically, guys, with the video SEO stuff that I do, standard operating procedure for me is to set up YouTube ads to start generating traffic before I do a bunch of backlinking and embedding. Like I start the traffic first, and then I go in and back it up with embeds and backlinking. That's the way I do it, because that's more natural. A video starts to get views, starts to get engagement, and then people start embedding it, sharing it, and backlinking to it, right? And so that's just the natural. That's kind of like typically how things naturally progress with a video if it goes viral or whatever. And I'm not saying that you're trying to mimic a viral effect, but that's typically how I will set up a campaign. Right now, I'm still using the YouTube ads as my traffic source because I'm not using CT spam tools anymore for that. However, coming here very, very shortly, we're going to have our tool available, our YouTube service available, which are real views. So it's very similar to buying views from YouTube directly through Google AdWords, right? But these aren't going to be, they're not going to be ads so it's a different method that we have that are going to be able to send views to it. But my point to you, Dan, is I would recommend, before going crazy with a bunch of embeds and or backlinks, that you would send some traffic to it, to the video first. Now, again, guys, I haven't tested just doing embeds and or backlinks without the traffic, because I've been doing the traffic method as my first step in the process for well over a year now. Whether I had used CT spam tools in the past, or now I've switched over to just exclusively using YouTube ads for that. Again, it's still my standard operating procedure to always start with the views first, because in my opinion, that's a much more logical progression as to how videos typically gain popularity and get promoted, right? It starts with views, and then the backlinks and embeds and social shares come into play. So, Dan, I would test it. If it's something old that you've been reviving, you might want to, if you've got, like, for example, 2 different videos that you could test both methods on and see if you can get some traction, get a SERP bump out of just doing backlinks and embeds, and see if that suffices, because then you could actually omit the traffic. Me personally, I still would want to keep the traffic component as part of it, because it's more natural. It wouldn't raise any red flags, right? You guys
you're triggering art, man. I've been talking about this for quite a while now. Activity, relevance, trust and authority on whatever link it is that you're trying to push, which carries over to the website. When the person comes over, they go through your website. It's all natural. And so Google takes all of those measures for a ranking score. I've talked about a ranking score, again, forever. December 2015, I told you guys it was coming, that Google was building ranking scores. It actually, what happens first is PageRank, and then the ranking score is built from all of the other metrics that Google is getting from your website, from the activity surrounding it, from seed sites. You heard me talk about this before, and seed sets. This all comes into play. Now, again, I'm telling you, we can avoid all of that, but you're still triggering art, except you're doing it inside Google. Activity, relevance, trust, and authority is happening inside Google My Business. Where else would you want it if you have a business?
Yeah.
It boils down to that. However it is that you get it, however it is that you get people to visit whatever property it is that you're trying to get them to visit, that's giving Google signal of just how trusted and authoritative your online property is.